Have you ever noticed that even as your income increases, your sense of financial security doesn't seem to increase with it? You work hard, you get raises, you might even earn bonuses, and yet there's still that quiet pressure in the background, the feeling that everything depends on the next paycheck arriving on time. Hi, I'm Mike. I break down money topics in a calm, practical way so you can make better financial decisions without pressure or hype. If that sounds helpful, take a moment to like the video and subscribe for more clear, steady personal finance guidance. Today, we're talking about something I call the salary trap and how to escape it before it quietly shapes your entire financial life. The salary trap isn't about how much you earn. It's about how dependent your life becomes on one single stream of income. Your job. At first, it feels normal. You get your first steady paycheck and start building your life around it. Rent, utilities, groceries, subscriptions, car payments, everything flows out from that one source. Then your income grows, and instead of creating breathing room, your expenses often grow with it. A slightly nicer apartment, a newer car, more convenience, more upgrades. None of those decisions are wrong on their own. The problem happens when every new expense quietly locks you into needing your current income level just to stay afloat. Over time, your lifestyle expands to perfectly match your salary. And when that happens, your income doesn't create freedom. It creates obligation. You're not building security. You're renting it month by month, step-by-step financial guidance. Escaping the salary trap doesn't require a dramatic life overhaul. It requires small, deliberate shifts in how you structure your money. Step 1 is awareness. You need to know your true baseline cost of living, not your lifestyle cost, not your upgraded version, your baseline, the amount you would need to live safely and comfortably without the extras. That includes housing, basic groceries, utilities, transportation, insurance, and minimum debt payments. Strip away the optional upgrades and identify the core number. Step 2 is creating distance between your income and your lifestyle. When your income increases, avoid immediately expanding your fixed expenses. Instead of upgrading your apartment the moment you get a raise, consider keeping your housing stable for another year and directing the extra income towards savings or investments. This creates what I call margin, the space between what you earn and what you must spend. Margin is financial oxygen. Step 3 is building a real emergency fund, not a symbolic one. Not a couple $100s just in case. A proper emergency fund should cover at least 3 to 6 months of your baseline living expenses. This is what allows you to make decisions from a place of calm rather than panic. Step 4 is developing secondary income streams over time. This doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow or launching an ambitious business overnight. It might mean building a small skill on the side. Freelance work, dividend investments, rental income down the road. The goal is simple: reduce total dependence on one paycheck. When income becomes diversified, fear decreases. Step 5 is investing consistently. Savings protect you from short-term disruption. Investing builds long-term independence. The earlier you begin, the more time works in your favor. The salary trap keeps people focused only on the next deposit. Escaping it means thinking beyond the next 2 weeks and building systems that grow quietly in the background. Real-life example. Let's look at Spender Mike. Spender Mike works hard and recently received a raise. He feels proud, and he should, but within a few months, his monthly expenses quietly increase. He upgrades his car payment because he deserves something nicer. He moves to a more expensive apartment because it feels like progress. He adds a few more subscriptions and eats out more often since he's busier. Individually, each decision feels reasonable, but together, they absorb his entire raise. 6 months later, his income is higher than ever, but his stress level is exactly the same. If his job disappeared tomorrow, his lifestyle would collapse almost immediately because everything depends on maintaining that higher paycheck. Spender Mike isn't irresponsible. He's simply allowed his lifestyle to expand faster than his financial foundation. The solution for him isn't shame. It's structure. If he had directed even half of that raise towards savings and investments instead of fixed upgrades, he would have created margin instead of pressure. Common mistakes. One common mistake is assuming a higher salary automatically means financial safety. Income helps, but safety comes from liquidity and flexibility. Another mistake is increasing fixed expenses too quickly. Fixed expenses, like rent, car payments, and long-term contracts, are difficult to reduce. Once they're locked in, your required income level becomes locked in too. A third mistake is ignoring the emotional side of money. Many people upgrade their lifestyle not because they need to, but because it signals success. The nicer apartment feels like proof that their hard work is paying off. The newer car feels like validation. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your progress, but if enjoyment replaces stability, the stress returns quietly. Finally, some people delay investing because they believe they need to feel fully secure first. The problem is that security built only on salary never feels complete. Investing is part of building that deeper layer of stability. Simple action plan. If you want to start escaping the salary trap today, here's a simple plan. First, calculate your baseline monthly survival number. Be honest and realistic. Second, review your last 3 months of expenses and separate fixed costs from flexible ones. Identify any fixed expenses that grew recently due to income increases. Third, commit that the next raise you receive will be split intentionally. For example, 50% toward investing or savings, 30% toward improving quality of life, and 20% toward debt reduction. Adjust the numbers as needed, but decide in advance. Fourth, build or strengthen your emergency fund until it covers at least 3 to 6 months of baseline expenses. Fifth, automate your investing. When contributions happen automatically, they don't rely on motivation. Small, consistent systems beat emotional decisions every time. Long-term mindset shift. Escaping the salary trap is less about math and more about identity. When your identity is tied tightly to your job title and paycheck, any threat to that paycheck feels personal and terrifying. But when you begin to see your salary as one tool, not your entire safety net, your relationship with money changes. You start prioritizing flexibility over appearance, stability over upgrades, optionality over obligation. You recognize that true financial progress isn't about how impressive your lifestyle looks today. It's about how resilient it is tomorrow. The goal isn't to avoid earning more. The goal is to make sure each increase in income moves you toward freedom instead of deeper dependence. Over time, the margin grows, the emergency fund strengthens, investments compound, stress decreases, and slowly, the paycheck stops feeling like a lifeline and starts feeling like a resource. Calm closing insight. The salary trap doesn't happen because you're careless. It happens because no one teaches us to separate income from independence. If you begin creating margin, protecting your baseline, and investing consistently, you can escape it, step by step, without dramatic changes or extreme sacrifices. If this video helped you see the salary trap more clearly or answered questions you've been carrying, hit the like button and subscribe for more calm, practical videos like this.